Hey there, comic book fans. I am back again from the comic shop this week. Went again on a Wednesday night instead of my usual Thursday because we're actually getting snow around here in the East Coast tomorrow at this time. So didn't want to be out driving then, but snow in November is a little early. But of course, the big news of the week was the death of Stan Lee. Not a hoax, not a dream, not an imaginary story. And you know what? I found myself a little sadder than I thought I would be at the news. Of course, we all expected, he was 95, him to die sooner or later, but made me, and I'm not usually one who gets sad at the death of celebrities. And, we got enough people I know who've died to take up my sadness. I was actually a little sad when I saw this, and it was nice to see so many people out there being nice to Stan Lee. But matter of fact, my one observation from this whole death of Stan Lee and the media thing, and let me tell you, I never thought I'd see a comic book person lead off the news when he died. That was amazing enough. But I have to say, Stan Lee was the king of having his picture taken with fans. I mean, it makes sense. He's been spending the last 30 years going around the country having his picture taken with fans. But the amount of people, like my Facebook feed and Twitter and everything else, was filled with pictures of people and Stan Lee. I can't think of any other celebrity who's died and had that many pictures posted of them and who's ever posting the picture. I mean, my Facebook feed was filled with comic fans and, comic book professionals posting pictures of themselves and Stan Lee. Twitter was filled with pictures of stars, actors, whoever, posting pictures of themselves posting pictures of themselves and Stan Lee. And it was just like, it was amazing to me how many pictures there are out there of whoever in Stan Lee. When other celebrities die, you don't often see a zillion pictures of some random person and that celebrity. But with Stan Lee, he took a lot of pictures with people. But anyway, let's get on to our comics here. Got 4 new comics and a freebie. The freebie is The Secrets of the Uncanny X-Men. Look at that, they're just giving away all their secrets. What if Magneto gets his hands on this? I think it's just ads for the X-Men. Pretty cool picture there. And I'll go through this and take a look. I know nothing about the X-Men these days. Oh, that's what the Angel looks like? Couldn't have told you that. The Horsemen of Salvation designs. Who are the Horsemen of Salvation? You got me. Legion Quest, no idea. But I'll give it a look because I love to look through these freebies. It'll get recycled eventually. And let's see, what comics did we get? The latest issue of Thief of Thieves, number 42. I'm really enjoying this. This is the final run. What is this, the 4th issue of the, I can't remember if this is the 3rd or the 4th, at 4 out of 6, whichever it is. This is the, and it had disappeared for well over a year, and now they're coming back with this final run. And I'm very much enjoying this, but there's a lot of exposition in it. Only because what he's doing is so complicated that I keep having to explain what's going on. Because he's trying to take down these 2 oligarchs, Russian oligarchs. Well, these Russian oligarchs have, I forget what they call it, Gold Rush or something like that, which is a failsafe. They've got some computer virus that they've infected the New York Stock Exchange with. And if they they have it there so they can't get taken down. Even Putin can't touch them. And they don't actually want to crash the New York Stock Exchange. That would be very bad for them. But they figure if they're being taken out, they're going to take out, everyone in the world. They're going to crash something to do with that. And so the Thief of Thieves is looking at plenty of exposition. But it's good. I enjoy it thoroughly. But there's all sorts of explanations of how the world works and how stolen art is used to fund terrorism and crime, and stolen oil is used because when the oil companies pump oil, there's something called spillage, which is a certain amount of oil they lose as they're doing it, but that's really oil that goes onto the black market of oil, and there's oil tankers that carry black market oil, and that they can disappear off the... Oh, there's all sorts of... There's so much explanation going on in this, but I enjoy it thoroughly. And I have no idea how he's going to take these two guys down, but everything's so... This heist or whatever it is so complicated that it's pretty cool. I'm really enjoying this last story arc of Thief of Thieves. It's different than any comic I've read, and I always like the Sean Martinborough art. That's the one that he's drawn every issue of Thief of Thieves, and there've been 3 or 4 different writers, but I've enjoyed all that Sean Martinborough art. And we got The Beauty, issue 25. Was this Jeremy Hahn? Jason Hurley of the story, Thomas Nachlik is the art, Nayoung Kim on the colors, Thomas Maurer lettering and design. Last issue ended off, I don't want to give away too much, on a cliffhanger. The first 2 issues in this arc were about these 2 thieves who were getting revenge on a bunch of other thieves. And then the third issue, last issue, are cops who have been in this story before, jumped into it. And the issue was all about the cops. And it's like that third issue ended with the cops confronting the bad guys who were out for revenge. So it's like the third issue ended where the second issue ended. They did that thing. So now the fourth issue, I assume they're all getting together and they're all getting together and having a big gunfight. So we'll see how that goes. I'm enjoying The Beauty still. And of course, the next one is The Mage, The Hero Denied. What issue is this? Issue 13. There we go. Kevin Matchstick fighting giant monsters. This is... Wow, we're almost at the end here. This is 15 issues. This is the third Mage series, and Mirth is finally back. He's the mage of the title, actually. Kevin Matchstick here isn't actually a mage, so it's named after him, even though he's the star of the book. He's been the star of all 3 books. Mage was kind of Merlin to Kevin Matchstick's King Arthur. And he's finally showing up at the end of the story here. He's been missing for years and years. This kind of takes place in real time. Because I think, not quite real time maybe, but somewhere around there. In the 80s, Kevin Matchstick was in his 20s. In the late 90s, he was probably in his 30s, and now he seems to be in his 40s. He doesn't quite seem to be in his 50s yet, so somewhere around that. Nice drawing of the villain. That's one of the villains. This is Kevin Matchstick's wife. She's been taken hostage by all these the villains of the piece. The villains of the piece are this one witch, this one really powerful magical creature. I think she's some kind of... She might not technically be a witch in the story, but she's got magic powers. And these are all her daughters. All these white-skinned creature. And I think in the last series she had all sons, so this time she decided to make all daughters. They're made magically, I believe. And he's been looking for his wife and kidnapped child, and we're just about to the conclusion of this, so that should be interesting. Our 4th book of the week, more magic. It's Birthright. This is another magic story. Some people from a magic world have come over to our world, and they're causing trouble. And the lead of the story has been magically... He's lived in this other world for a few months in our time and 15 years in his time. And there's his brother stayed little, but now he's learning magic on our world. So this is all about this big magical battle, and the Birthright, I guess, refers to their magic birthright. And the art is always nice in this, and the color is always nice. And this is a flashback, I think, to the because we have the stuff that takes place currently in our world, and it flashes back to the older brother now who's growing up on this other magical world where time moved at a different rate. So I'm glad to see this is back. It's been back for a few issues now. So this is one of these Image books that comes back for an arc and then disappears for a couple months and comes back. And I'm actually okay with that as long as, I'd rather them do that than not do it. So I'm okay with it being late. So there we go. Now let me give you a little look at some background art, which is my, this is one I did this weekend, one of my hypnotic eyes. And this is actually one I did as a painting years ago, a small painting. But I decided once again to blow it up. And eyes are, the all-seeing eye is kind of one of my traditional themes that I like. This one is very graphic designy with different textures and lines and stuff like that. And I like eyes, and I like the way this one, the graphic design nature of this one appeals to me. And I especially like the way that the lines in the eye came out, the two different thicknesses of black line that make one look like a white line. I like that. I don't think I've ever achieved that effect before. I just kind of did with this one. I almost stumbled on it, but I really like the way that effect came out. So I got to say that this one is one of my favorite ones of this large series I did. Let me show you one small thing too, only because it amuses me. This is one of my positive affirmation cards. I've been making these with occasionally just to make myself feel better, and they have positive affirmations on them. But this one is Sugar Smiles. I'm not sure where I came up with Sugar Smiles that day, but that was my positive affirmation for the day. Sugar Smiles. And I hope you checked out my video I posted earlier this week. I made an art show video where I showed off some art to some music. I want to do some more of those. I've just been trying to figure out how, but I think I like the way that one came out, so check it out. And I also might get back to doing some how-to videos. I did some of those on another channel I made a couple of years ago, but don't have two channels. It splits your concentration. I put up a few videos, never quite. I'm just going to post them here if I make some more art tutorial videos. But I'm going to try to get that done in the future. So you guys all have a good week out there.